Hey guys, Dave with RLB Motorsports. We get lots of questions about how to hook up our plug-and-play chase lights to our Pro8 switch panel. Today, this video is going to go over exactly how to do that, which will work on many other switch panels out there on the market. All right, so first off, we're going to prep the chase light wire harness to get it onto the Pro8. So let's explain a couple things to you. Obviously, you got your light bar here. Coming off the light bar is your main wire harness that comes down into this big plug right here. From this big plug, it splits into two totally separate wire harnesses. The smaller wire harness that has the 3-pin Deutsch connector on the end, we're not going to touch that wire harness because that goes right to your plug-and-play pigtail that makes the light plug-and-play for all the different makes and models of UTVs and trucks and everything out there. So we don't touch that wire harness. Your second wire harness is the bigger wire harness. It goes to your rocker switch as well as this plug, and then it has the pigtail coming off that has your inline fuse and your ring terminals. This is the wire harness that we're going to modify to connect to a switch panel. What we're going to do is we're going to take the wire harness right here, the main part of the wire harness where it comes off, and before it goes into this plug, we're going to take it and we're going to cut this wire harness right here. All right, so we're going to go ahead, cut that, remove that off. So now we're left with just the single wire harness. So now we got to open this up, strip off the coating, and when we do that, you're left with 3 wires. You've got a red, which is your power. You've got a black, which is your ground. And then you've got this one here that is yellow with a green stripe. That is your trigger wire. So we're going to go ahead and strip those back also and expose the wire on those. All right. So now we've got the wire exposed. Just going to twist them up here. All right. So now we got to get these wires connected to the Pro8. We're going to go ahead and show you how to do that. I want to explain real quickly when removing this rocker switch off of the wire harness what's really happening here. So if you look at the rocker switch, it's really 2 switches in one. It is an on-off switch. It is also a momentary switch. Each time you click the top, it returns back. So we've got 2 functions happening from this one rocker switch. That is why we have 2 wires that we need to connect to the Pro8, the yellow with the green stripe, and the red, which means you're going to use 2 buttons on the switch panel to be able to operate the chase light fully. Now we're going to go ahead and connect the wires to the Pro8. So remember, previous in the video, I said black is ground, red is power, and the yellow with the green stripe is your momentary wire. So we have decided on our switch panel that we want the number 1 button to be the on-off to turn the strobe lights on and off on the switch panel. And then we decided that we want the second button to be our momentary button to switch through all the different functions. And on our San Felipe light here, be able to turn on the white lights in the middle. We will show you that after we get it connected. So this is the simple part. So on the wire harness coming off the Pro8, we've got 2 plugs, and each plug has 4 wires going into it. So 4 wires for 4 buttons on one plug, 4 wires for the other button. So this wire harness here goes to these 4 buttons. The red wire is the number 1 button, so that's where we want our on-off. And the white wire is our number 2 button, which is right here that we're going to make a momentary button. So I'm just going to put these guys with both of these wires, and it just so happens red to red. And then we're putting the yellow and the green along into the white. We're just sticking them in there. I'm not going to crimp them on. Obviously, you'd want to crimp them on, and these are heat shrink too, so you can heat them on. So we've got both of those set. Then this leftover black wire here needs to go over and be grounded to the bus block on the Pro8. Or it just needs to be grounded in general. So if you're not using our Pro8, you're using a different switch panel, it can be grounded to the battery. If they have a place to ground it, go ahead and ground it there. But that wire needs to be grounded. We have a little alligator wire already ready here. We're just going to go ahead and hook that up. And we are now grounded. So we are completely connected now, both buttons. We're going to show you how this works. We now have the plug and play chase light completely wired up and connected to the Pro8 switch panel. So the very last thing that you're going to need to do is go into the programming on the switch panel to change that number 2 button to the momentary button so we can control all the functions that are on the San Felipe chase light or any one of our plug and play chase lights. So what we're doing with this button is we're going to make it a momentary. So that's what the rocker switch does, is a momentary. We need to make that button a momentary. The way that we do that is we go ahead and we turn on the panel with the middle button, or turn on your ignition if you've hooked up the switch panel to work off the ignition only. But we got to get the panel hot. So there you go. You got your lights on, you know your panel is hot. Then what you do is you go ahead and you hold that middle button for a 5-second press. You will see the lights blink. Right there. Now we're in programming. I can go and I can program any one of these 8 buttons now to do all the different things that this switch panel does. We want this button to be a momentary, so what I do is I touch that button once, it's your on-off function. I touch it again, there's your momentary. Your second click, you're done. It's in the momentary function. Now I'm going to set that by pressing and holding the middle button again for 5 seconds. It will turn off and back on. And there you go. Now we are saved. This should be a momentary button now. See, as I push and let go, it comes on and off. We are now set for a momentary button on the second button. We can now show you exactly how the switch panel is going to work with our chase light. Now that we have completed the full install, let's show you how it works. So we're going to go ahead and turn on the switch panel so we have power. The number 1 button that we set up as an on-off is going to go ahead and turn on the chase light. Now, realize that the brake lights and running lights and the middle light are not coming on right now. The brake lights and running lights run off the pigtail that goes to the rear of the car. So those are not going to be lit up right now because we do not have those connected on a car. But if it were on a car, they would be lit up right now. The momentary button, so the number 2 button. So each time I click it, you will see that the strobe pattern changes. That's a simple click. Push and let go. Each time I push and let go, it goes to a different strobe pattern. But when I press and hold for a long press, I'm going to press and hold it for 2 seconds. You're going to get the white light in the middle, press and hold for 2 seconds, and the white light goes off. The same operation, if the rocker switch was on there, it would do the same thing, but now it's all being operated through the Pro8 switch panel. All right, so that's how easy it is to connect our plug and play chase light to our Pro8 switch panel. And for all you guys that made the mistake and went out there and bought another switch panel, as long as that switch panel has the ability to switch one of the buttons to a momentary button, this chase light will still work for you guys. So, hey, thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel to see all of our tech videos, all of our product videos, and we really appreciate your business. You can go to our website, RLB Motorsports, to find all this product there. Thank you.